Hey guys, it's Ames back with another video for you. Today I am doing my how I curl my hair tutorial slash hair video questionnaire type thing. I'm going to show you how I got my hair to look like this, and I'm going to answer just a few really basic questions at the end to tell you about like what colour my hair is, like how often I get it cut, how often I brush it, how often I wash it, stuff like that. So I hope you really enjoy it. Please don't forget to smash the thumbs up if you do, because it really helps me out, and obviously don't forget to subscribe if you are new, because I would love to have you here. But I think we will just jump on into the video. So this is my hair naturally. It goes different every time I do it, so dependent on how I dry it. So if I blow dry it, it will dry straighter, but it will be more big and like voluminous and a bit more like frizzy and like static. I literally washed my hair last night and then I let it just like towel dry, I think that's what they call it. So it sort of semi-dried, and then I went to bed on it sort of damp, and this is how it turned out this morning. So it changes depending on what I do. Sometimes I will wash it just before bed and I will go to bed with it wet, and when I do that it tends to go quite like crimped. Yeah, every time I do it sort of changes, but it's naturally curly, wavy, crimpy, frizzy, that sort of texture, that sort of like vibe. So as I said, I washed my hair last night and I used the Aussie Miracle Moist for dry, thirsty hair with macadamia nut oil. And I used the shampoo and the conditioner, and there's no really reason in particular that I use them. I like the fact that it's got nut oil in it, and it's sort of for like dry, thirsty hair. So yeah, that is what I've been using recently. I do try and switch up my shampoo and conditioners, so that is one thing I would say. Try to not use like the same one for like months, because otherwise your hair then sort of tends to almost like get used to it, and then whatever it's got in it, so like the nut oil or whatever, it'll end up sort of like being immune to that. So I switch up my shampoo and conditioner quite a lot. So the only other thing I use on my hair after I wash it is a hair oil. So I have been using the Neil & Wolf Velvet Hair Oil for probably best part of 2 years, and I love it. Why fix something if it isn't broken? So I just keep using this one. It says it is a velvet blend of 3 natural oils: argan, avocado and jojoba. Jojoba? I'm not sure how you say that. I just do like 1 pump into my hand, rub it together like that, and I just run it through the ends of my hair like that. I avoid like the plague at the top of my hair, because I don't want to be adding anything that's going to make like add grease or anything like that to the top of my roots. So yeah, that's the only other thing I do to my hair after I've washed it, and then I go on to like drying, either blow drying or just leaving it to towel dry. So I get asked on Instagram quite a lot about what brush I use and like how often I brush my hair and stuff like that. I'm afraid I can't tell you where I got it, because I actually got it in a goodie bag from like a bloggers event thing I went to last year. So I have no idea where it's from, but it's just a really typical like bristle brush. So the only wand I ever use to curl my hair is the Mark Hill Hair Pick and Mix wand, and I have 2 barrels for this. So I have this one, which I believe is the medium sized barrel, and then I have one that's like called the extra long one, and it's like specifically for long hair, and I think it's about like this much longer, and I think it's slightly thinner. So yeah, this is all you're really going to need to curl your hair. You're going to need the Pick and Mix wand from Mark Hill. You're going to need one of their barrels. Like I said, this is the medium barrel. You are going to need a brush, and you are going to need a clip or scrunchie or whatever of some sort to partition your hair while we are curling. I use these ones from Primark. I literally picked them up a couple of weeks ago and they have been a lifesaver. Before that, I just literally used scrunchies. I am a scrunchie lover. I love scrunchies, so yeah, I will always use either a scrunchie or a little hair clip. So we are going to start by partitioning our first section. So we're going to take from the top of the ears all the way around, and we're just going to flip that up and clip that up, and then we're left with just a thin bottom section to start off our curls at the back. It's going to help if you turn the curlers on, because you sort of need heat for this, donut. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes. While I'm just waiting for those to heat up, I'm just going to run my brush through both sides just to get rid of any knots and tangles that are currently in my hair, because there definitely are some. If you were to curl your whole hair away from your face all in the same direction, it almost creates like one big curl, and it sort of just looks more like seamless and a little bit more like silky and soft and smooth. If you curl your hair one away, one forward, one away, one forward, it will start to create more volume and more of like a curly look. I sort of just do it as I please as I'm curling it, but for this bottom section, I'm going to curl all of my curls away from my face. So I'm going to take the first section from the back. I'm going to take just a small, probably like an inch of hair, and I'm going to take my curlers. So they have this little section here that you can pop them down, so I'm just going to bend that down, and then I'm going to take this with my opposite hand and I'm going to put it around the back of my head like this, and then I'm going to put it against my hair like that. So difficult, I'm going to have to look in the mirror. And then I'm going to put it to the side of my hair like so, and then I am just going to wrap my hair around the curler till I get about to the end, and then I'm going to twist it and make sure I've got enough hair in, and then I'm just going to hold it for like a couple of seconds. These are so hot, so they're gonna curl your hair within like seconds. So that is the sort of curl you are going to end up with, depending on how long your hair is and how close you curl it together on the curler. It's obviously going to either create a more of a ringlet or more of a like drop curl. All of mine come out different. And then yeah, I'm basically just gonna go and do the same thing to all the rest of my hair. So I'm gonna grab my neck section and I'm gonna put my curler to the back of it again, curl it all around, leave it for a couple of seconds, and then carry that on all the way through the front of my hair. Okay, so as you can see, that is the left underneath section of my hair curled. I am just literally going to leave that like that. I'm going to move on to the right side. I'm going to do the exact same thing, apart from I'm going to swap my curler into my other hand, and obviously this time I'm going to take this curler round this side of my head. Okay, so that is the first section of my hair curled on both sides. I'm now just going to take the top section back down, and then I'm going to part again, sort of from my eyebrows round to the back of my head. So I've got like my next section. And then what I do is I just take the bits that have been curled, hold them here, get the section that hasn't been curled, get all of those bits from the back, like that, separate it into each side, pull it around the front, and then what I do is I just throw those bits back. Then I'm left at the front with my very frizzy sections of hair. We are going to brush through our hair just to make sure we've got no knots. And then for the next section, I am simply going to repeat the exact same steps that I did on the first section. So I will show you once again. So I am just going to take a little section from the back of my head, just going to run my fingers through it. I'm going to take my curlers, pull my little thingy-mabobby down, and then I am going to put that to the back of my head, place it up against, like as far to the root as I can, and then I'm just going to wrap my hair around, twisting the curler to get it as close to the root as I can, like this. And then I'm just going to leave that for a few seconds. and that is the curl we are left with. They are going to drop throughout the day, so you do want to sort of try and curl them as much as you can, because we're going to brush through them, we're going to run our fingers through them, and they're going to drop out and stuff like that, so you want to try and curl them quite tight. Okay, so now I'm just going to repeat the exact same steps throughout that whole section of hair. So I'm going to grab a tiny little section from the back of my head, I'm going to run my fingers through it, place my curler back to the root as far as I can, and then I'm just going to twist around and leave it for a couple of seconds. Okay, so we now have 2 sections of our hair done, and we've got this big old hedgehoggy thing going on up here. So the next sections I'm going to do slightly differently. We're now at the sort of like crown of the head, I think that's what you call it. So I'm going to do this one slightly differently. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all this hair to the back of my head, and then I am going to take my clip out. So basically what I'm going to do for this section now is I'm basically just going to start taking sections from it. So I'm going to just like grab a section from the back, just like really randomly grab a little section, and I'm going to pull that down, and then I'm just going to pop that to the side, and I'm going to do basically the exact same thing. So I'm just going to run my fingers through my hair, grab my curler, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to pull the hair back, and I'm going to sit the curler on the back of the root like flat to my head, and then I'm going to curl. So as you can see, my curler is actually now like straight across horizontally rather than like on a diagonal down like when we were doing them before. And then we are just gonna let that go, and we have got that little curl, and basically all it's going to do is it's going to create like just a different type of volume at the top there by the root, just because we've like held the curler in a different type of way. To be honest, it's like not really a big deal. When curling your hair, you just sort of end up learning like what suits your head and what doesn't, so it's really just a case of grabbing certain little sections, running your fingers through it, putting the curler in the right position, curling round, leaving it for a couple of seconds, and voila, you end up with all of your curls. I leave what I call these as my fringes, even though they are extremely grown out, just to the end. So I'm just gonna now take my front sections and I'm just gonna brush through them, and then I'm gonna curl them pretty much exactly the same way I just did the rest of my hair. I'm just gonna put the curler up, not to the exact root, but a little bit further down, and then I'm gonna literally curl it back away from my face again. I always sort of run my curler like up and down this little bit of fringe hair, just to create like a nice little curl. We always look pretty scary once we've first curled all of it and it looks like this. Okay, so now I'm really simply just gonna take my fingers and I'm just gonna brush my fingertips just sort of like through the curls, just to separate them and to like make sure they're not like merging into one curl. Just give it like a little shake. I want to do the exact same thing like through your fringe as well, so we don't look too scary. Just like run your fingers through it lightly, give like a little shake just to like separate it out, make sure it's all like flowing together type thing. And I'm just gonna do this at the top of my hair, so like put your hand in and like shimmy it about, and then like sort of push your hair like up and about and around, just to get that sort of like a bit more volume at the top, and just to separate all that top section out so it's not like all completely lost in each other, and you're just trying to give yourself like a little bit more volume. So I'm now just going to take my brush and I'm just going to run my brush through my hair lightly and just sort of to my taste to see how I like it, and I'm just basically going to go off of how it looks, because every single time I curl my hair it looks different. So you should end up with something that looks a little bit like this, obviously dependent on your hair. As I said, you're just going to keep playing with it until you're ready with it. To be honest, I'm never like majorly happy with my hair, because at the moment I'm just hating my hair and I really want to cut it all off. But I really just want to go short because I'm so bored of my hair at the moment. So last but not least, I am going to use some of this Schwarzkopf Gliss hair repair, and it says it's a shine tonic and it's for dry stressed hair, but I just sort of spritz it on the ends of my hair after I've done it. It smells gorgeous as well. Okay, so this is pretty much the finished product. This is basically how I curl my hair. I'm not saying it's great or whatever, but you guys always ask me how I do it, so I wanted to show you before I potentially cut all my hair off. And yeah, that's basically how I do it. As I said, every single time it comes out different. Sometimes I curl it to have more volume, sometimes I curl it to be a little bit less like together in one. As you can see, it sort of looks like it's all in like one curl. So if I wanted to do more of like a thick, fuller wave, I would, as I said, curl in opposite directions as I'm curling. I have a few other hairstyles I quite like to do to my hair, so I quite like crimping my hair with straighteners at the moment. If you want me to do a tutorial on how I do that, I would be happy to do that for you guys, so let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna really quickly just run through some of the questions that you guys asked me. So one of the most asked questions is, what colour is your hair? Do you dye it? Is it natural? Blah blah blah. So I'm afraid this is my natural hair colour. I have dyed it in the past, but I have not dyed my hair for probably maybe like 4 years. So this is completely 100% my natural colour, so I'm afraid I cannot tell you sort of what to ask for in the hairdressers. I mean, you could always take a picture of me and say you wanted it sort of this colour. I describe it as brunette with sort of, it's sort of got like auburny tones in it, so like bits of like red and stuff like that. Yes, I'm afraid this is my natural hair colour. So someone's asked me how to like stop frizz and stuff like that. So obviously my holy grail product is the Neil and Wolf Nourishing Hair Oil. As I said, I use this when my hair's like, wow, damp. But I would also use it like now if my hair was like it is. My hair's really frizzy and static. You might not be able to see on camera, but in person it is. So I would maybe sometimes grab some of this in my hand. I'm just gonna do it. Grab some of this in my hand, like a really tiny amount, and just rub it through my hands, and then I might just like do this through it. So just to like try and like calm the frizz and like push through like that, and you would hope that it's gonna stop some sort of frizz and all of that jazz if I was to do it properly. But yeah, so the Neil and Wolf hair oil is my holy grail. What hairbrush do you use? As I said, I'm really sorry, but I do not know where this hairbrush is from. It is just, I'm pretty sure they have very similar ones on GHD. I used to have a GHD one, which I loved. I probably had it for like 10 years. Asked my best friend, it ended up having no handle on it, and it was just this section, and I just used to hold it and brush like that, and I'd use nail varnish and painted all over it. I'd drawn like hearts and stuff like that. So the GHD ones are really, really good. Obviously I got this in a goodie bag, as I said, so I'm not sure, but it's just a really normal like bristle brush. How many times a week do you shampoo your hair? So I wash my hair probably on average on probably a Monday. So I will, because I have Tuesdays off work and I always do like my filmings and stuff like that, so I'll always wash my hair probably on like a Monday night, and then I will try and leave that until a Thursday night, because then my next day off is a Friday. So I will try and go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with the same hair. My hair gets quite greasy after, it really needs washing every other day, but I will try and push it to like 3 days if I can. So on average, I probably try and, wow, what is that bit of hair doing? So on average, I probably try and wash my hair about twice a week. If I'm going out like really randomly on a day and I think, oh crikey, I need to wash it now, I might wash it on like a Sunday morning, and then I will wash it on the Monday night again. So like every other day-ish, try and push it to 3 days. How many times a week do you use a hairdryer? I try and not blow dry my hair. I will normally leave my hair to just air dry, towel dry, whatever you want to call it, or as I said, I will just literally go to bed with it wet. I'm not sure you're meant to do that. I'm not sure it's very good for you, but I really like how it turns my hair in the morning. It makes like a really nice crimp for me. I used to use like plaits, or like I used to like French braid my hair and go to sleep with it wet like that, and then it would be like pow in the morning. I do that a lot on holiday, so I will probably be doing that on holiday a lot, but yeah, I try to not blow dry my hair, so maybe like once a week, maybe. But as far as like heat, I always either curl my hair or straighten my hair if I'm doing something, so pretty much every day, unless I'm just going to work, then I won't do anything on it. So I'd say probably like 4 days a week I will use like heat stuff on average, maybe 5. Yeah, no, probably like 4. Probably 4 days a week I will use like heat on my hair. Someone's asked, have I ever cut my hair short? Yes, about how many years ago? Probably 4 years ago I cut all my hair off to about here. I will try and insert a picture for you, and I loved it and everyone else loved it, and I'm very, very, very tempted to do it again in the next few weeks, maybe. Do you use hair vitamins? If so, which ones? No, I'm sorry, I don't take any sort of like supplements, vitamins, hair like stuff at all, so no, sorry. How do you make it look shiny? Obviously this shine tonic from Schwarzkopf is really good for making your hair look shiny, but also I think just like brushing it regularly helps, because I noticed when I brush through my hair, like my curls and stuff now, my hair will tend to look a lot shinier, and also I guess your shampoo and conditioner helps a lot with that as well. How long does it take you to grow your hair? So as I said, I probably got my hair cut about 4 years ago, really short, and to be honest, my hair grew quite quickly once I did that. To be honest, I can't remember exactly how long it took, but obviously, like I said, I had it cut 4 years ago, and obviously it's been 4 years. Obviously it didn't take 4 years to get this long. It probably took like a year or something. Like, it didn't take very long. It grew really, really quickly. So maybe if you're thinking of like wanting to grow your hair, try and cut like a big chunk of it off to get all like that health back, and then it should grow longer again. So someone's asked, have you ever coloured your hair? Yes, when I was about 18, I dyed my hair blonde. So I will try and insert some pictures for you from when I had blonde hair. I really loved it when I did it until I dyed it back brunette, and I was like, actually I didn't like it. So comment below and let me know what you guys think of the blonde hair. But I went like very blonde. I went like not platinum, but like really blonde, and obviously I'm literally naturally this colour, so it was a bit of a shock, but I did really like it. I've also dyed my hair other colours like plum, so I've got like a purpley, and then like like reddy auburn. I've done dark, very dark, like almost black. I like that. I will most likely do that again, and stuff like that. So yes, I have dyed my hair. Someone said, have I answered that already? How often do you brush your hair in a day? I can't remember if I've answered this already, but I don't brush my hair really unless I'm doing it like that. So as I said, actually yeah, I think I said this at the beginning, so I'll always brush it after I've washed it, and then if I was just like leaving it the next day and going to work, I would then not brush it again until I came to like another day when I was like curling it like this or something, and then I'd brush it as I have in here. So not that often. Like when I was younger, I literally never brushed my hair. I would just, not even after I washed it, I would just like run my fingers through it, and that would be that. I just hated brushing my hair because whenever I brushed my hair, it made it go so big and so frizzy, so I just like avoided it like the plague. But brushing your hair does give like a nice shine. Like throughout the day, I will like have this brush with me if I'm like filming and stuff like that, and I will just run my brush through it like that just to give it like that shine and that like wavy beach look. Advice for people with short hair who want longer hair: I would say just try and not use heat. Like try and let your hair dry naturally. Try and use like scrunchies and stuff like that. Cut bits of your hair off. So like say when you say short hair, maybe it's like here, cut it to like here, and then it will like grow better because it's obviously going to be a lot healthier. How often do you cut your hair? I'm like world's worst human when it comes to getting my hair cut. When I was younger, I used to come out of the hairdressers crying every single time without fail. I hated cutting my hair, and to be honest, I'm not really that big a fan of cutting my hair still. I really don't cut my hair that often. I think the last time I got my hair cut was when we went out in London that time, which was probably over a year ago. So I don't cut it that often. Okay, so that is going to conclude my hair video for today. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope it helped you out in some way. It was the first time I've ever done a hair tutorial, so I hope it was okay. Please let me know in the comments below any sort of feedback, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if it helped you out, if there's anything I should do differently next time, and let me know if you want to see any other hair tutorials. I do curl my hair differently a lot, and I do like to do, like I said, like crimps and stuff like that, so let me know if you want to see anything else. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah!